let's talk about those bends. The first bend we're going to talk about is the most important one, which is the whole step bend. Okay, the whole step bend, there are 3 main places you need to be able to do whole step bends in this first position. It's on the 3rd string, 7th fret, where your 3rd finger goes. It's on the 2nd string, where the 8th fret is, where your pinky goes, although I will be using my 3rd finger to do the bends. And when you watch people play, you're going to notice that everybody else does the same thing. And the same thing with the 1st string. 1st string at the 8th fret, where the pinky would go, I'm going to use my 3rd finger as well. Those 3 bends are really, really important to us because they're the 3 main rock and roll bends that everybody uses. They're very melodic. The great thing about bending is when you bend on the higher register strings, it sounds like a voice. When you bend on the lower register strings, which is great, it's not as effective though. It sounds great, but when people think of soloing, you always think of like these higher kind of thing happening. So let's go to the 3rd string, 7th fret. I'm going to put my 3rd finger on there, and then I'm going to put my other 2 fingers on there. So my 3 fingers are on the same string. My thumb is coming over the top. When you learn how to play like chords and things, a lot of times, your thumb is back here, and that's awesome. When you're doing this bend, we call this a blues stance. Okay, I'm grabbing on, literally grabbing onto the guitar, and this is where the camera 3 might come in a little bit handy to see my positioning of my arm as I'm doing this bend. So I'm grabbing on with the thumb, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate or turn my wrist like I'm opening a doorknob. It's not done by pumping the fingers like this. It's done by turning the wrist. So I'm going, so I'm turning this way, turning up. Okay, turning up. Now, I need to know how high to bend. So if I'm on 7, I could check 2 frets higher, which is 9, which you'll notice is part of the 2nd position of pentatonic, which is the same as that note of the 1st position. So what I'm really doing is I'm bending the 7th fret of the 3rd string up to become the same note as the 2nd string, 5th fret, excuse me. Okay, so I'm bending it up.